Today, we're going to be going back to basics and be talking about role-playing games from the perspective of the players, mostly. Today, we're going to be talking about declaration. Declaration is any time in tabletop role-playing games where you describe what your character is attempting to do. And there is a fly in this room. We're going to ignore that fly and hope that it doesn't ruin this video. Okay. So anytime your characters describe what they're going to be trying to do, that's declaration. And the referee can also be describing this as well for NPCs whenever they're trying to do something. Whenever you're doing a declaration, it has two big main and very important parts. And oftentimes people do one but not the other. But it's really important that whenever you're playing games that you try to do both things. Well, what are those things? Well, the first one is you have to describe what your player is trying to do, right? So it's the intent. What are they trying to accomplish? That's the intent part. It's really important, especially for the referee, to know what the player is trying to do, what their character is attempting to achieve, right? Their goal in mind that they're trying to do. And it's important because that needs to be decided on by the referee whether they succeed or they fail. Because if they fail their check, then they don't get the thing they're trying to do. And if they succeed, then they get the thing they're trying to do. This fly is just messing with me, right? So I'm failing right now at this video because the fly is distracting me. Let's try to get back on track. The second thing that a player needs to describe, the second thing that a player needs to describe is the approach, how that character is going to be doing the thing. What exactly is it that they're going to be doing to try to accomplish that goal, right? They have a thing they want to do, and they're going to try to get there, but how they're going to get it. And how they're going to get it is really important for that character, right? How is the character viewing the world, and how do they try to get things in the world? And maybe this stays static through the entire campaign, or maybe it evolves. And this is a really important part where you can actually have a lot of character growth occur, is if a character is always trying to do things the same way, and then they learn something and now they try to do it a different way, or maybe change things up a little bit and try to do some of the same things they were doing before, but now they're doing a little bit different. So that is one way that you can show character growth in a role-playing game, is that you can have them change the approach. All right, let's give an example. Let's say, I don't know, someone was trying to shoot a YouTube video, and while they're trying to do that, they are using a microphone and talking about stuff, but then a fly comes in, so we can say, hey, like, this was a failure because the fly kept distracting you from making this YouTube video. Whew. And maybe we could try again. But if we were going to do that, maybe we change the approach, because trying the same thing again and again and expecting a different result, well, that's just insanity. So I might be reshooting this video. I don't know. All right, well, let's give a more role-playing intense scenario. So let's say that a character is trying to talk to the guards and convince them to let them through, right? So they might try to intimidate them, they might try to persuade them, they might try to use diplomacy. So they've got several different options that they could talk to this guard. Well, the first thing that they should describe is that they're trying to talk to the guard to let them through. This way the referee kind of knows where they're going, and they can say whether they succeed or fail, or kind of somewhere in between. And then they should describe how they're going to do it. So it might go something like this. All right, I'm going to go up to the guard, and I'm trying to get past him, so I'm going to persuade him, and actually I'm going to pull out some money and try to bribe him with some money and just say, like, hey, I've got these coins for you if you let us through. These coins have your name on it. And just hold out the bag and wait for the guard to take it. And then after that, the referee can take that description, that declaration, and decide what you need to do. Maybe they call for a roll. Maybe they say, you know what, this bribe is down in their luck and you knew that, and so you just succeed. Or maybe something else. It might depend on the system. But now that you've declared what you're doing, the referee can take that and do something with it, right? And it's really important that the intent is there and the approach, okay? Because let's go back to that scenario. Let's say you didn't give the intent. You didn't say what you're trying to do, and you just come up to a guard and say, I've got these coins on it. If, your name on it, the guard might just take the coins and be like, thanks, and then not let them through because the referee didn't know what that player character was trying to do because all they did was present them with gold. And then maybe they could say afterward, you're going to let us through, but the guard might not make that connection. The referee might not make that connection. So it's important as you're playing the game to clearly describe to the referee what you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to accomplish it. You see, you might take another approach and maybe you try to intimidate the guard, but the guard really doesn't like people who try to push them around. That's why they became a guard. So that doesn't work as well. So the approach could change how the referee rules it, but the intent is always going to be the same. And it's really important to describe the intent so that the referee knows how to respond. Similarly, if you're a referee and an NPC is doing something, unless you've got a real clear reason why you shouldn't describe what the NPC is trying to get, go ahead and tell the players, this character is trying to do that thing, right? The guard is trying to get you to bribe them. So they're going to be holding out their hand and kind of waiting for you to pull out some coin and gesturing, well, if you want to come back through, then, man, there's got to be some kind of grease to these wheels, and stares at the players. And then the players know, oh, this guard wants us to bribe them, right? So maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe they try a different approach. But knowing what the NPC wants allows more agency from the players, and it allows them to make decisions just like it allows the referee to make decisions. Okay, so to sum up this long rant on this very core concept that you should give some time to think about and really kind of integrate it whenever you're discussing it at the table is declaration. Declaration, again, is what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it, right? So it's whenever you state what your character is trying to do at the table. You always want to include what you're trying to do and how. And it's kind of that simple. But it's going to happen a lot at the table. And if you can master this, your communication skills will increase and your game will run a lot more smoothly. Now, if you ever run into a situation where that's not clear, referees, players, you can always ask, hey, what are you trying to accomplish here? What's the goal, right? Maybe you've said your approach, but what are you trying to get to? Or maybe you've said your goal, like we really want to get past this guard. Okay, how are you going to do that? And you can prompt players into this. So you don't have to actually sit down and say, hey, you really need to know these fundamental things. You can kind of coach them through on, some words with some questions. Or better yet, you could send them this video and then they would know exactly what you mean. So thanks for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. And, may all your games be full of dread and laughter.